Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Dino Crisis 2 one last time. For how long? I'm not entirely sure, because it does feel like we're very close to the end of the game, and video games are not like books. You cannot hold, you hold a book, and you can be like, I can tell how many pages are left. I don't even need to count them, but I can estimate by how big the book is and how thin the remaining portion is, and know how little story there is left to consume. I could pause the movie and see how much time is left. I could not do that with a VHS tape. The technology wasn't there. But eventually, with the DVD and the Blu-ray, maybe the Laserdisc, but I never owned a Laserdisc. Also, maybe the movies that were on CD, but we're getting far off topic. Because with video games, no matter how close you can get to the end of the game, you don't know how much longer there is, which is what led to situations like when I was playing through Metal Gear Solid 4, and I'm like, oh, I've got a couple hours left, let's do the final boss, finish the game, and then an ending that would go on for an hour and a half, and I'd be like, okay, wrap this up, I gotta go to work. Or, oh, I'm almost at the end of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, there can't be that much left. And then it's still going. You never quite know. But it does seem that way. It does seem like we're actually getting a lot more of the time traveling storyline right now with Dylan here. With Dylan here on the screen. Apparently, so there's the timeline of Dino Crisis 1. Then Dino Crisis 2, these people go into a city that has been transported through time. Okay, so there's the Dino Crisis 2 present, and then they go into Dino Crisis 2 past. But then after the present day Dino Crisis 2 events, the world ends. And then they build an arc to send people back in time to the point in which their time experiments and time damage did not affect. Another example you can see of this in video games is the Journeyman Project, a series of video games. The only one of those video games I've played is Journeyman Project 2 Turbo, I want to say, was the edition. And the idea is, there is an event that displaces time, and in order to escape that, you end up having to go back into the Jurassic period to get out of the way of the time wave that is changing and affecting time itself. And then the rest of the game is you're going through time, trying to see what has changed and to stop those changes. But for now, we will carry on and see what is left in this second crisis of dinos. Will you take the resuscitation pack? Yes, I did in fact use one during the escort quest, where a youthful teen who was instinctually trained to protect dinos needs protection from dinos. Now, none of these it doesn't seem like there should be any dinos in this area. All of these doors seem really sealed off for dinos, and these must be the pods that the youth, the teenagers were trapped in and grown.
Welcome,
And
Lieutenant Morton.
A hologram? Well, how does he know my name?
dun dun dun.
There's not much time left, so I'll explain it short and simple. On August 10th, 2055, our Noah's Ark plan became successful.
Year 2055? What's he talking about?
To save the dinosaurs, we transferred the dinosaurs to this time, 3 million years ahead of our time.
What? 3 million years? Then you're from...
But there was another accident when we were about to go back. The gate disappeared and we were stranded in this time.
Then this is the future.
There was no way for us to survive in this world, where dinosaurs now rule. We, the remaining survivors, hurried to recover the gate. But it's too late now. My wife, Julia, was killed by the dinosaurs, and my loving child, she was hurt. Badly. Paula.
Paula.
Paula? Is that your name?
Papa.
My only mission now is to protect my group. I have kept Paula and the other children safe by putting them inside life support chambers. Please, take the children back to your time. And now, I should introduce myself. I am former Special Forces Trad member, Colonel Dylan Morton.
What? You're myself in the future? Then you're my...
Papa.
We don't have much time left. There's a gate behind the door. You can use it to return to your time. The gate is not complete yet. You'll be able to use it only once. Please, say hello to Regina for me. I'm counting on you, Lieutenant.
Okay, so this is the appearance of prehistory, but it is in fact the future, where we sent dinosaurs off to protect them millions of years from now, which also presumes that man no longer is on Earth. What happened to the people on Earth? That's also, I think, a poignant question. Why did he only secure children? What happened to the other adults? Why didn't he put himself into a pod?
System has been manually activated. Detonation in 5 minutes.
What? You turned it on.
Oh no, it's the Gonatosaurus.
Not now.
First, the Giganotosaurus is going to eat him. And then he's going to eat me. Oh my god. Oh, everybody gets a chance to fight this guy. Yep. But I don't have these fancy... Okay. This could be problematic if there are... Oh, jeez.
The self-destruct system has been manually activated.
Alright, let's try to... Let's at least fight him a little bit first. Ah. See, I'm worried that if I stop, they'll just destroy the bridge. And I only have the one resuscitation pack left, and it doesn't seem like I really have that many options. Like, what? I'm not sure what the game expects me to do, except maybe run across the bridge faster? Okay, at least I know now that select skips the cutscene. Let's try to run across the bridge faster. Maybe that's going to... We're going to hold the up button as the cutscene switches. See, that's a little bullshit.
Damage confirmed. An oversized transport area. Immediate shutdown. Activating anti-satellite. Operate control panel to open communication line to satellite.
Anti-satellite? It is a control panel to command the anti-satellite. To start it, you need to open the communication line and set the target. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Stop now. It is the emergency control terminal to connect the communication line to the anti-satellite. Will you operate the control terminal? Yes!
Communication line is now connected.
I don't really have a dodge button. But I have tons of med packs, so... Yep, get up, thank you. It is a control panel to command to start an open communication and set the target. So I probably need to go elsewhere to do that. Because why would you have all of the terminals you need right next to each other? That would be madness. Schizophrenia in reverse. Talking to the voices that weren't even there. Bonus points if you get the reference. It is a control panel to set the target. Target has been set for the gigantic dinosaur. Will you send the data to the satellite? Yes.
Target is set.
So now I have to slowly but surely... Oh, jeez. Ah. Okay, let's use a recovery item. Oh my gosh. You know, I suppose this is at the very least realistic. If a gigantic dinosaur wanted to eat you, he'd probably eat you. Will you start the anti-satellite? Yes!
Commencing attack.
See, the anti-satellite makes it sound like it's gonna blow up satellites. It doesn't sound like it's gonna blow up ground targets, but we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna accept the fact that it's going to blow up a ground target and not other satellites, just so that we can at least deal with the gigantic dinosaur. Also, very convenient that it only blew up the dinosaur and... Or is there now a big crater there? There's a big crater. Excellent. Alright, let us escape from the facility before it blows up. Ooh, into the Gate Development Lab.
It's okay. Regina!
Are you all right?
Yeah, we don't have much time left. Let's use this gate and get out of here. Whoa! Paula! No! No!
See, this is where they spent their pre-rendered cutscene budget.
Dylan, what are we gonna do? If we don't go now, we'll never get back.
Regina, the gate is open. I know you don't want to, but you have to go back by yourself. I won't leave Paula.
Are you crazy?
Just go, please. You have the third energy data, right? When you get back to our original time, use the data to learn about third energy. Then build a perfect gate and come pick us up for the last time.
Dylan. I will. I promise.
Final warning. 10 seconds to detonation.
Don't forget, you still owe me one.
Well then, you better get back quick.
And that was the end to that chapter. Now I can catch up to the pain that Dino Crisis fans have been feeling for decades now. Oh. Like, to just leave it off like that, and then for Dino Crisis 3 to be in the future with different characters? I want to say Dino Crisis 3 is just completely unrelated, but I have not looked up anything. So my saying that would be based on nothing. But, like... Okay. Let's back up a little bit. Dino Crisis 2, this is what it was. It's interesting to play, especially after playing Dino Crisis 1 so recently. Like, Dino Crisis 1 was interesting, but it's also a little bit harder to enjoy. Like, it was much more survival horror than I was expecting, even more so than Resident Evil. To the point in which most of the time, I wasn't shooting any bad guys. I was just escaping. Like, with Resident Evil, like, there's ammo management, there's health management, but I felt that Dino Crisis 1 really emphasized that point, to the point where, like, you never really had any bullets. You never really had much ammo. Like, I was tranking dinosaurs just to kind of, like, avoid them, and sometimes even that wasn't enough. Whereas, like, Dino Crisis 2 is a much, like, bigger action experience, arcade experience. It's easier to enjoy, but I don't know if it is necessarily a better game. Like, Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, is a game that I would say is better than Max Payne 1. Resident Evil 2, better than Resident Evil 1. Alan Wake 2, better than Alan Wake 1. But a lot of those games that I've mentioned have their own shifts in tone. Alan Wake 2 is much slower than Alan Wake 1. Resident Evil 2 has more action than Resident Evil 1. Max Payne 2 has more of a focus on its narrative than necessarily its level design, whereas Max Payne 1 is more focused on its level design, as was the style of the time. But with Dino Crisis 2's focus on, like, constant arcade action, like, it's easy to jump into and start shooting dinosaurs left and right, just blasting them. But at the same time, why is he driving a sports car now? Or is that just him before he signed up on the mission? But anyway, like, Dino Crisis 2 is easier to jump into, but at the same time, like, is it as interesting? Like, Dino Crisis 1 was very interesting to play because it's like, it was hard to, there was a lot of heart to the dinosaur animations. There's a lot of surprise to it. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. And with this game, like, there wasn't really as much of a surprise as much as it was just more varieties of dinos to blast to Kingdom Come. Which is fun, but also kind of brainless at the same time. It's very easy. I felt a big disconnect for the main plot. Like, but once you show up in the jungle, I'm like, okay, I guess we're here, and I completely forgot why we even got here in the first place, or what we were even doing here. It's only mentioned in the beginning, and it's a very plot-centric storyline, with the exception of Dylan's character. Like, Dylan gets all the character development because of his connection to the later time-traveling shenanigans that occur. Now, the third energy was a little bit of a surprise for part 1 because I wasn't expecting time traveling to be part of it, but, like, I guess you gotta have dinosaurs somehow, and unless you bring dinosaurs back to life by genetic mutation, they have to arrive by some manner, and time travel is an option. But we never actually find out who continued the time travel escapades. What really went wrong? Like with the Dino Crisis 1, we know the scientist who constructed the third energy and what he was trying to do. But like here, that all kind of takes a back seat to the just finding your way around the jungle and Edward City and shooting at dinosaurs and getting extinction points. If I had any main gripes or complaints with the game, aside from spelling, it's amazing how many spelling errors I found in this game. I feel like it's an issue for both Dino Crisis 1 and 2, and I mentioned this earlier in the last episode. I feel like if they ever do a reboot of the Dino Crisis franchise, or a reboot/remake, like they can keep the story as is, but I feel like they really need to amp up the scale. Because like you see Edward City in a cutscene, but when you're actually fighting your way through Edward City, it doesn't feel like a city. Like they added in the jungle because they couldn't do the jungle with 3D environments in part 1, but they could do it in pre-rendered environments. But even then, you're just kind of going down very specific paths. Like both Dino Crisis 1 and 2 don't necessarily feel very large in scale. And that's one of the things that I feel like I was missing out in this game, is that sense of scale, of environment, purpose in story. I don't know, something about the action in the game to make it, instead of just kind of like arcade, it needed a dodge button. A dodge button would have been pretty good. Because like that'll kind of give more variety to animal attacks. So maybe like you like a velociraptor is about to like lunge at you, and then you dodge out of the way. But otherwise, I'm glad that I finally played it. I don't have Dino Crisis 3, and I don't have the money to spend on it, so I guess I don't have to worry about playing that game anytime soon. But in the meantime, though, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.